I just got these new Both Lighting IR4s and wanted to tell you what I thought about them. If you guys have been following my other videos, you know that I previously had the Rockville Mini RF4s. Great lights for the price. The two things that I was really keying in on were the range and the syncability of the lights. I was really hoping on those Rockville Mini RF4s that I would be able to use the RF remote that came with it to control all the lights in the room at the same time. Unfortunately, the range on that remote wasn't as good as I would have hoped for, and I found out that I would probably have to use those lights in master-slave mode anyways. When it comes to master-slave mode, these Both Lighting IR4s have a lot better functionality because you can still use the remote while they're in master-slave mode. They also have some other advantages that I'll talk about in this video. If you're watching this video, you probably already know that Webb has a really in-depth, awesome video on these both IR4s already. I definitely highly recommend you check that out for all the details about the light itself. I wanted to talk about a few things when it comes to the master-slave functionality and a few sleeper features that actually Rick didn't cover, but I think are actually pretty cool about this light. Now, if you didn't already know, Both Lighting actually makes the lighting for Rockville. I mean, you can kind of see it's kind of obvious. They're the exact same build quality, same lighting, same brightness, same weight, everything. The main difference is the functionality this one gets with the screen. So as you can see here in the front, there's 4 buttons, kind of like on your regular Parkans lights. And you can adjust the DMX channel on here if that's the way that you want it to go. These lights have full DMX capability. I don't own any sort of DMX controller or have much experience with DMX. My goal was to try to use these things just with the remote and get them all to sync up. But it's really nice to know that if I needed to, or somewhere down the line, as I upgrade or add more lights to my collection, I can use these in DMX if I need to. So I'm gonna go ahead and power these on. One tap. So I'm gonna make this light my master light and have the rest of these as my slave lights. There's a way to do that here. So now this light is on master mode. What I did for the rest of these lights is I actually turned off the IR remote mode. If you let them sit for a few seconds, they automatically turn to slave mode, which is a nice feature because in the future when I'm using them, I'm gonna have one master light at all times, and then I'm just gonna have the rest as slave. I'm gonna put a piece of tape on this one so I know this is my master light, and then as soon as I get to an event, I'll just be able to set up this master light right next to my booth, put all the slave lights out around in the venue, and I'll be good to go. So as you can see, turn it to red, and just once the signal starts going, you can see all the lights turn to red. I can cycle through other colors as well, green. I could do, all 32 colors you can cycle through up here. You can turn down the brightness, which I'll do. 3 brightness modes. And then you can also do auto mode, strobe, pulse. There's a strobe. Nice fade mode. You can control the timing of the fade mode. And then finally, if you're interested in you can also do sound modes here. All of them are synced up in sound mode, which you weren't able to do previously with the Rockvilles or with the both RF4s. Three different sound modes. This is a strobe sound mode. This one's like kind of a fade in, fade out kind of sound mode. And you can turn them all off at the same time as well. So really cool master-slave functionality. Range-wise, I haven't taken them out to an event, but what I'm expecting is the same kind of master-slave range that I saw with my Rockville RF4s because they were made by the same manufacturer. That's what I'm expecting. I did just have these all over my house and they were all syncing up and working great, even through walls and things like that too. So this master-slave functionality on these lights is far vastly superior to what you had on the both RF4s and also on the Rockville Mini RF4s. And again, all of them made by Both Lighting. For use at a gig, what I'm expecting is I'll have one of the master lights set up next to me at my booth, and then I'll have the rest of my lights sort of set up, behind me on the wall, and then maybe alongside half of the walls. And I expect that my master slave range should be able to reach all of those lights. If I have some lights across the hall, you know, it's possible that they just might stay on the static color that, you know, I had them set on at the beginning if the signal doesn't reach. But, you know, I'm okay with that if I have, you know, mainly the lights around the dance floor that are changing colors, etc. During the dance floor time. So, you know, I'm really happy with this master-slave functionality. It's definitely not like the Ape Labs, you know, connectivity. But I mean, you know, for $75 a pop to get this kind of functionality without having to use wireless DMX, I mean, it's pretty impressive, and I could not be happier. Some really cool sleeper features that I wanted to bring up. When it comes to wireless DMX, as you know, there are a bunch of wireless DMX groups. So let me just toggle to that, how I can change those. So see, I have this on green. You can change it yellow, blue, purple, all these colors. You can turn it off. So with that functionality, what I figured out you could do is if you want to have two masters, you can have one master here on the green wireless DMX group, and you can have a different master on, say, the red or the blue wireless DMX group. With that, you can send two different master signals to your lights and have them doing different things or on different colors without having to use a DMX controller. So that might have been a little confusing. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm gonna set this one to the red wireless DMX group. All right, so now what I've done is this is my master light on the green wireless DMX channel. This is my master light on the red DMX channel. And again, you can have them all on the same channel. This is just if you want to have, you know, lights doing different things, or have, you know, one group of lights in an area on one color, one group of lights in an area on a different color. So let's say I want to keep these lights on the green channel on green. So wait a second. There we go. Now we're all on green, right? If I want to change them again, they're all synced up. These ones, since they're on red, they're not getting the signal from these lights. So this is my master on red. Let's turn it red. And you can see these lights turned red without passing the signal onto these lights. So again, green channel, red channel. And I can just point here. I can go to blue. Let's say I want one group of lights to be pulsing. These guys are on a pulse, while these guys are on a static amber color. Or let's say it's Christmas time. I wanted to do an alternate, right? I could alternate these. They don't have to be next to each other. So I have this master light on red, this master light on green, and I can set the rest of the lights around the room in whatever order that I want. You know, I'd have to point the IR remote at those specific lights to get them to change, but you know, I thought this was a really cool feature and something that I wasn't aware of that they'd be able to do. So it's actually kind of similar to how that Rockville Mini RF4s have those 4 different groups. Technically, this has like 7 different groups. I mean, it would get a little complicated to, you know, have 7 different master lights. But I thought, you know, when, you know, if you wanted to just do this alternating color thing, or, you know, have a situation where you have 2 separate rooms and you wanted to still have some more control, this is a great feature to kind of have in your back pocket. Now I've set all my lights back to the green channel. That's just the one I'm going to use. I've heard the red one could be crowded. You can see all of them are synced back with this one as the master. So we go blue, amber, white, there we go, all back on sync, pulse mode. Now the second feature that I didn't know about and I was surprised by was that all of the lights come with these new magnetic brackets. You get one for each light, and let me show you guys how these work. It screws in here to the back. You know, I don't know how much I'm going to use this yet, but I thought it's a pretty cool feature and might save some time for setup and stuff in the future. So you can take this thing, bolt it onto the back. Comes with a washer and a little hex bolt and all that. Probably going to be easiest to do this in advance. You can see when it's on, it looks like that. Now this is the magnet here on the back. So what you could do with this, here I'll put it here, but to any metal surface, you could attach this like so. So you can see here I've used the magnet to attach this to this metal leg on my table. And if you can imagine, you know, if you have a speaker stand, I mean, you know, there's a chance it could slide a bit. So I wouldn't, you know, rely on this like above people or like, you know, anywhere that it could fall off. But I mean, like in a pinch, if there's somewhere you want to put one of your lights, this is pretty sturdy and kind of a cool addition. I guess it remains to be seen how much I actually use it. But for something I wasn't expecting to have, I think it could prove to be useful in the future. Now, the last kind of sleeper feature that I want to talk about is the app control. Now, shout out to 5-Star Productions. He actually created a video about how you can use the app that got me thinking about trying out the app, and I found out it was pretty cool and could be pretty useful at a gig. So the way it works is you download the Both Lighting app from the App Store. It looks kind of like this. It's kind of out of date and probably hasn't been updated in a while, but I mean the thing does work. What you have to do is first set your light to the app mode. If you click enter on that, it says A53, which is actually the wireless network that the light creates that you can connect your iPad to. I select BOSI, B-O-S-I, A53, and I'm connected now with the light via Wi-Fi. I mean, this is a pretty high-tech feature that I think on a lot of higher-end lights, I was really surprised to see with the Both IR4. Now that I'm connected with the light via Wi-Fi, I go to the Both Lighting app, and I can choose a color. So here we go, red, green, blue, white, yellow, all from my iPad. The really nice feature about this is you can do color mixing with this color wheel right from the iPad itself. So rather than being limited to just the 32 colors on here, now you can, create any color you'd like just by swiping your finger around this wheel. You can also set the brightness, low, high, and you can even go to different kinds of modes here. So in my case, I don't have to use a DMX controller to do some color mixing in case I wanted to kind of fine tune the static color I was using for my lights. I definitely wasn't expecting the app to work this way, and I'm really happy with how it works, especially given the master-slave mode. So basically what's happening is that this app is controlling the master light, which is then sending the signal to the rest of the lights. The other thing to think about with the app is that it connects to your light via Wi-Fi. So I can theoretically be farther away than just the IR remote range and have a little bit more range with this because it runs on the similar type of Wi-Fi network rather than the IR4, which requires line of sight. So yeah, there you have it, guys. In addition to how awesome the master-slave functionality works on these, I really like those 3 additional features, especially the way that I can control all the lights together with the 2 or 7 different master modes you can use, and also the app is a great feature as well. Also, for any of you Both RF4 users out there, this light can actually still serve as a master light for the Both RF4. So, if you want to get some more of these and mix them in with your RF4s, you can. I can't say the same about the Rockville RF4s. I don't know if this can work as a master light for those. I asked Rick Webb as well, and he wasn't sure either. So that's another advantage to having these, especially if you own that Both Lighting RF4. So yeah, I'm really happy with these lights for the price. I feel like I'm going to be able to sync them up and also control them in master-slave range, which is really the main feature that I was looking for. I'm expecting for the master-slave range it to be pretty similar to what I saw on the Rockville Mini RF4s. But from other people that I've talked to, if you use like a DMX controller with a transmitter, you can get much better range because that transmitter can send the signal much greater distance than just this master light can. If you're directly comparing the Rockville Mini RF4 versus these, I think these take the victory just because of how much more functionality there is with these. For the same price, same footprint. I really think the Rockville Mini RF4s, a good comparison for them are the Both RF4s. So yeah, I hope I was able to explain to you guys the key differences and why I decided to go with these in the end, and I hope that was helpful. Thanks again for watching.